Scheduling spots requires a number of things to be already done. First of all, you have to have your program scheduler set up with the program breaks and the break items, the avails. You'll need clients in the client area, and then you'll need a contract. So we'll go right now to the contract area and take a look at a spot screen. In a previous lesson, we have gone over the contract areas, and now we'll go directly to spots. When we get to spots, we find in this case that the contract number is showing up here in the upper left corner, the client's name, and then over here to the right it shows 0 of 1. Now that'll be 1 of 1 once this is all completed and saved. So the first thing you do is click on Add, and we're going to look at the generic type of scheduling, and that is the default when you open a screen, is it shows the generic with the dot there. First thing it asks for is the spot type. Now you can have lots of different spot types, and we're going to pick commercial for this one. Then the next thing you can fill out is the spot name, and this will appear on the invoice or on the log. So we're going to pick the name of the client. Alright, then the date automatically starts tomorrow and will run for 2 weeks, and you may change either or both of them to suit yourself. Generally, you don't schedule spots into the past, and you will see that the spot scheduler sometimes won't get them all automatically scheduled if you're trying to do that. The source is used for either whatever instructions you want to put on the log, the printed log for a live board operator, or you can use this for a cart number if you're exporting automation. Spot length in seconds, and in this case we're going to pick 30, and this would correspond to how you have set up your program scheduler and all the avails. Notes, that's simply notes that you want to keep. They will print on the traffic order, which you would print from the contract. Priority, you can leave that blank, which means you are not using priority and all spots have the same, no automatic bumping. If you use the letters of the alphabet starting with A, each one provides less and less protection against bumping from spots that are higher. So you might use that if you do sell spots or underwriting based upon preferred schedules over less protected schedules. Now in the generic scheduler you will need to furnish the quantity. So let's say they're going to do 25 spots in the 2-week period that we have here. The quantity scheduled and the quantity aired are filled in by RadioWorks as we have numbers for them. After we schedule this spot, if it's fully scheduled, it'll show 25 scheduled, and then as we start reconciling logs between the start and end date, the quantity aired will increase and the quantity scheduled will decrease. But the total of quantity scheduled and quantity aired should always equal the quantity. That indicates that the contract is fully scheduled. We have another way of putting in the rate. That is, you can put 25 here, let's say, for the per spot or per unit, and then when you tab, it'll show that that's the total. Another way of doing it is to put a check mark in fixed price. That will not allow you to go into the rate, but it will allow you to go into the price area. So if you just want to do it by kind of a package price, then when you put that in there, it will change the rate and show that the rate is different than what we originally put in. Copy, that's a place where you would put copy if you want that to appear on the log, or if you just like to have the copy printed with the affidavit and don't want to use other places. In order to put copy in, you'd click on Add, and then you simply type in what you want to say, and you can fill it all up. When you click Save, this copy description will provide a copy number, or you can put a name in here if you prefer. Copy number of times automatically says 1. That means if you have multiple pieces of copy, they will all rotate the same way. If you put a 2 in there, then it means that this copy is going to rotate twice as much as the next one. If we had another one, that might be a 1. So it's always kind of a ratio in comparison to that. Notice it's now copy 462. And we could add another more copy here if we wanted it to rotate. Client type refers to the type of business this client is in. Well, it's pretty obvious it's insurance, so I just hit the I, and that took me down to insurance agency, and I double click it. Now insurance agency appears both as the client type, which is required, and the type to avoid, which is optional. So what we're saying is we're identifying to all other spot schedules that this is an insurance agency, and we're also going to be on the lookout that it not be scheduled in the same break as another insurance agency. So we save that. Now we're going to choose the days of the week. I'm going to go with Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm double clicking, and each time I double click on one of those, you can use the arrows here to move them over. So Monday through Friday, that's the days of the week that this spot is going to be scheduled on. Now over here we have the every question mark weeks, which indicates that you could skip weeks if you wanted to. A 1 means you don't skip weeks, a 2 means every other week, a 3 means you're on for a week and off for 2 weeks, and then on for a week and off for 2 weeks. Number per day, if you leave it 0, then the program will just randomly determine that as it tries to put 25 spots between the start and end date. Or if you put a 1, then it's strictly going to do 1 per day, and it may not get the quantity you desire. Or number per week, you could put a number in there. If you've got 25 spots for 2 weeks, you can't really put, you could put 13, and it'll come pretty close. Minutes between spots, which means 2 hours in this case if we're scheduling multiple spots on a day, and that's what's going to happen with this schedule. Then it's going to make sure that no 2 spots are closer than 2 hours. Location in an avail, if you put a 1 there, you mean that means it'll always be in the initial position within the break if there are multiple spots in a break. If you put a 2 or a 3, it's going to go at the end of the break. It will not be in the first position. So with all that, we can save this, and now you'll notice it's up here, it's 1 of 1. But we haven't scheduled yet this spot. That'll be in another lesson.